Today. Listen, we are just so excited. We wanted to take some time to just share with you a little bit about Women with Grit. What is the story behind it? How do we get started with it? You know, I've got partner in crime here, Lee Willette.
Hey, what's going on?
And I'm Sherelle Lands, and we're just so excited about this concept called Women with Grit, where we interview just exceptional women within the community and around the world who are doing phenomenal things. So how do we get started with this concept, Lee?
Well, I think ultimately it was a reaction to COVID. We were literally working on a different concept that involved women and really helping women have the opportunities to progress in their careers, and we're really putting something together to do that. And we had all these people lined up to interview and to get information from, and COVID happened. And so.
That changed life for everyone.
It did, and so for us, we were talking one day, and so we were talking about what we're doing, and I said, I'm thinking about doing this podcast, and I'm thinking about doing this, and you said, okay, let's do it. And so Women with Grit came.
There it is. Big on execution, we make it happen.
Yes, so it's been exciting.
Yes, it has. And we've had just phenomenal guests even over the last year, and looking forward to all that's coming ahead. So how can they reach us?
They can reach us on YouTube, Exceptional Women with Grit. You can subscribe to our page. You can check out our Facebook page, Women with Grit, or you can go to our website, womenwithgrit.com.
That's it.
And the best way to catch us is Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time, when Sherelle and I are live with our guests. And literally, I think the most exciting thing for me is what we talked about. We wanted to have a program that brought in women from around the world. So that's our globe here. We literally interview people in Bogota, Colombia, over in London, and then all over the United States as well. So that's been exciting. That's one of the benefits of COVID. Everybody's used to this virtual world, and nobody feels like they have to fly in to be live in the studio.
That's right. So hopefully you will join us live or catch the replay, right?
The replays, that's right. We have a bunch of replays, and I mean, if I were you, I would binge listen. People binge watch on Netflix, binge listen and watch Women with Grit. There have been some phenomenal interviews and some phenomenal tips that will help anyone. We have men and women that watch. And I think the tips that you get, the things that you learn from these women that are our guests will help anyone advance their careers, advance their lives, and just really live a full life and a happy life. And I think that's exciting.
Yes, I would agree 100%. So if you're interested, definitely join us, follow us, engage with us, like us, share it, all of those things. And if you know a phenomenal woman or a woman with grit that you would recommend being on the show, be sure that you write us on any one of those forums, and a member of our team will get back to you.
Yes. And don't forget, if you have a product or service, a company that you want to promote or a cause, give us a shout. We're happy to do that. There is a cost. But it's not much, not yet. So you better get in while it's cheap.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you. And so far, we'll see you online.
Talk to you later. Peace.
Bye. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Guess what day of the week it is? It's Tuesday. It's
November 2nd. We're right at the beginning of the month.
We are. We're so excited to be here on with Women with Grit. Grab your friends, grab your beverage of choice, grab your snacks, and join us on your sofa or wherever you are in front of your computer. Come on in the room. We know how you guys like to lurk because we have an exciting guest tonight, and we are going to be giving away some stuff for people who actually participate. So isn't that exciting?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Always good to get good free stuff.
Exactly.
Something that may help you change your life or continue to move your life forward.
Exactly. So how's it going, Lee?
It's good. I just got a text from my son. He got another college offer, football offer, this time to Murray State. So,
nice.
Yeah. So he's excited about that. It's been I tell you what, I've kind of talked about it. This football is much different than just going to look for a college to send your kid to for their education. This recruiting is totally different. But it's fun, and it's fun for me to watch him go through the process and enjoy the process, which is what I've told him to do, is just
That's
enjoy
right.
it. He's been playing the sport since he was 5,
Yeah.
and to really see that he can have an opportunity to go to college for free
It's
and do what
already
he
in him.
yep and do what he enjoys doing. Hey, it doesn't get much better than that.
I know that's right. So I've got a little bit of a ways, but we're working already on it now.
Yes, find his passion.
That's it. He's into golf, so we'll see. We'll see where
Okay.
he
Oh,
goes with that.
lots of scholarships for uh, African American male golf players out there.
Okay.
Yep. So
Yeah.
it's
So
gonna keep.
super exciting. Okay, well,
Mhm.
well, thank you again, you all, for joining in tonight. We know that some of you are lurking, but here's the deal. We are going to be giving away prizes to those who engage with us. So first, we want to make sure if you are joining us, drop your name and the city or state that you are tuning in from in the chat function. We want to make sure that we acknowledge you. We thank you for being a regular listener, a regular follower of the program. Again, we have an exciting guest tonight. We have Ms. Elin Barton, who has a book entitled Ready, Set, Grit: 3 Steps to Success in Life, Business, and the Pursuit of Happiness. And she is also the founder of Boardroom. So we'll bring her up in just a moment. You guys do not want to miss her or the community that she has, which will definitely impact your life in a favorable way. But before we get to Ellen, Lee, who do we have to thank tonight for our sponsors?
We are going to thank MJC Insurance Group. Holler at Brianna at mjcins.com. MJC is a phenomenal local but national insurance agency that will shop over 15 different insurance companies to find the best fit for you and your family. They cover your auto, your boat, your renters, if you own rental property, your business, uh, your jet skis, whatever you have that's a property, they cover it. They also will help you with your workers' comp coverage for your company. So give Brianna at MJC Insurance a holler. The best way to reach her is just to go straight through their website, mjcins.com, and send her a message. And they will do everything they can to find the best fit for you for your insurance need. And then second, we have Terrell Perry with Molet Investment Services. Terrell is on board to help you put together your personal wealth management plan. Now, here's the thing: we all talk about it, but the execution, Sherelle, is often, leaves a little bit to be desired. And before you know it, it'll be time for you to retire, and you'll wonder, what the heck did I do with all my money, and why don't I have enough to retire? So give Terrell a shout. Also, let him do an insurance checkup on you and check out your life insurance to make sure you have the life insurance that you need for your family. If you are walking around with kids and a family and you don't have life insurance, you are out of order and you need to get in order. So give Terrell a shout, and you can email him, Terrell, Terrell, at moletinvestmentservices.com, Terrell at moletinvestmentservices.com. And of course, we want to thank our own Sherelle Lands in Vision Strategy Management for all of your personal and professional needs to help you not just come up with your vision, not just come up with your goals, but to more importantly execute those goals and
That's
to
right.
actually see the fruits of your labor. So we have up in our head what we see and what we want to do. Now Sherelle's there to make sure it actually happens, and you can see it with your eyes and
That's
not just
right.
at night while you're dreaming.
Yeah, make it happen, right? And to
Yes.
really put those things into practice. And Lee, guess what?
What's up?
I have been nominated for a Rice Award.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
there you go.
excited about that. Yes.
There
So
you
I'll be
go.
putting some information out about how we can get the votes in. Although
Yes,
it's only a percentage of the entire score, I think it helps and it counts. So
it
I
does.
thank those who definitely made the nomination. But it's I'm excited about it. So I'll share more.
All right. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Hey,
But
also want to talk about the table. Check out the website, thetableaction.com. Thetableaction.com. And if it's a community you want to join, go ahead and join. If not, if you want to think about it, that's great. But the great thing about the table is things are happening like right now.
At the
people,
table.
new relationships, new opportunities, just so many different things, great conversations that are actually transforming people's lives and helping them see through a different lens. So check out the table, thetableaction.com. And we'd love to talk to you about what we're doing at 229 members, Sherelle, in 1 year.
Awesome.
1 year.
That's
These are,
fantastic.
yes, and they're very much engaged. And then also we have 16 different corporate sponsors that are very much engaged as well. So check out thetableactions.com.
That's
All right,
right.
Sherelle.
Yes, so we are just so excited. And again, okay, just to get some engagement going with you guys, we know that, and our guests, you're kind of shy tonight. Normally we've got the chat function and it's going and people are really, really engaged and excited about it. You know what, Lee? It's election day. Midterm.
Okay.
But
Okay.
that's all right, because we know that you guys will join in over the next couple of days. And hopefully, if we don't get anyone tonight, then you have an opportunity. But we want you to drop your name and the city or state that you are joining in from. We want to know where you are joining in from, your name, city, and state. Drop that in the chat function. We've got a special gift for you for the person who does it first. And then the second thing for tonight's show only, the person who invites or forwards or shares the show while we're still airing the most will also get a prize. So you want to make sure that you're doing one of the two, either being the first person to leave their name and the city and state that you're joining in from in the chat function. That's so simple, right?
It is.
It's like to
easy,
say
breezy.
hello. And then the second one is really going to be given to the person who shares or reshares this the most. So I'm going to open that up. We'll say it again on the break. But in the meantime, we want to go ahead and bring to the stage our guest for the evening. Her name is Mjc Elin Barton, and Ellen is a small business advocate, speaker, and coach who helps business owners experience significant growth and get their life back. How about that? How about that second part?
That's
Getting
good
your
stuff.
life back.
Get your life back. Yes.
It's one thing to have growth and just be run down and tired. It's another thing to have growth and have your life on track so you can enjoy it. So anyway, after finding herself struggling with managing a business and drowning under nearly $500,000 in debt, Ellen knew she needed to find an entirely different approach in order to get herself back on track. To weather the crisis, Ellen developed a system that led first to a mindset shift and then to a complete reversal of fortune. With the debt erased and a business operating at significant levels of profit, Ellen now works with other entrepreneurs to help them find support and make their own transformations. Ellen is the author of Ready, Set, Grit, Ready, Set, Grit, 3 Steps to Success in Life, Business, and the Pursuit of Happiness. And she is also the founder of The Boardroom, a virtual community for entrepreneurs. In addition, Ellen is at the helm of White Knight Productions, an award-winning marketing and video production team that works with corporate and agency clients nationwide. She advocates for small businesses as a part of Goldman Sachs 10KSB Voices team, and in her work on the NSBA Leadership Council. She serves on the NABO NYC board and was a 2020 Enterprising Woman nominee. In her free time, Ellen enjoys gardening, life with 2 boisterous dogs, and cooking for her family and friends. She is also an enthusiastic traveler and loves exploring the world and learning about new cultures. So we're going to bring to the stage Mjc Elin Barton. Hi, Ellen.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Ellen, how are you?
Wonderful.
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yes. How's New York?
You know what? It's getting cold. It's like we haven't had a frost yet, but we're supposed to get one tonight. It's like that season is turning.
Yes.
It is definitely getting cold.
Gotcha.
That it
Yeah,
is.
it's getting a little chilly here in Nashville as well.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm willing to bet we beat you in the chilliness factor.
We probably do. Yeah, probably do. We're not going to try to compete on that one.
No, please don't.
Not at all.
Yeah.
We're in the 50s.
Oh,
So, Ellen, tell us about you. Tell us about your unique story of grit. Naturally, you wrote a book on grit. You experienced some difficulties that led to some transformations in your life. We'd love to share that story with our guests.
yeah. I would love to tell it. I think the word grit was never on my radar until I discovered it within myself. And that happened, as you said, in the midst of a very difficult time within my business. And my business, I am a small business owner. Now I have two businesses. But at the time that I was kind of struggling very much, I just had one, and it was the source of my family's income, so that's hard. That's
Yeah.
different from when you have like a hobby entrepreneurial venture. Very
Right.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When people
And
have to eat.
sorry, Lee.
I say yes. When people have to eat off of you going your business,
Yeah.
that's different.
Yes.
It's really, it's very scary. And when we started the business, it grew very quickly. The problem was that we didn't know what we were doing. I didn't know what I was doing.
Mhm.
And so it was just kind of like going along and growing, and we were making money, we were spending money without a plan. And you guys probably know that's not a good idea.
Right.
And you can imagine, well, where that went. I went to a very bad place, and we did accumulate a lot of debt. It was scary. And of course, we didn't know the outcome. So much energy. I wasted so much energy trying to resist the inevitable. And miraculously, we didn't declare bankruptcy. We did pay back every penny that we owed people. It was a very difficult. And perhaps in hindsight, we could have done that differently. But anyway, we got through it. And in the midst of all of that, in the really dark days, that's when I started to understand what grit was. When I learned that I could keep going and put one foot in front of the other when I didn't feel like doing it, and I didn't feel like I had support. I knew it was all going to be for something. And eventually we did build momentum. I pulled everything together and began to formulate this whole system that has transformed my life. And now I'm happy to share it with other people. So it's, I guess that's my grit story. It's really messy in the in the beginning part, but it did lead to something very positive.
So you mentioned actually two things that kind of stuck out to me, which was a lot of entrepreneurs are kind of in the same space. They have a passion for something, they want to go after it and kind of learn the business along the way. What would you say is the best approach that you've seen so far for how entrepreneurs can find their way if they're starting new?
Well, the real magic happens when you can marry your passion with something that you're good at and something that's needed and something you can make money at. And find that magic space in the middle. When you're trying something new and you're not sure it's going to work, to me, it's just making these little steps. It's kind of like knowing what your goals are, having some idea of how you're going to get there, but not needing to control every detail along the way, kind of moving towards your goals, exploring what's working, what's not working, being willing to be a little fluid, on your journey.
I love that. The space of fluidity, be like water.
Yeah, exactly.
So Ellen, what did you all do? Because I'm sure there were people that said, "Hey, y'all should probably go ahead and file bankruptcy."
Yeah.
What? Why didn't you?
Yeah. There's no judgment. I have no judgment around that. even with myself. Like I was okay to do that. I had to do a lot of work on myself around the topic of money and what money means and what it means to your self-worth and your self-value. I mean, there's so many stories tied up in money. So personally, I got to the point where I was at peace with whatever happened. And if we had needed to do that, it would have been okay. And it probably would have been better in some ways. But I'm stubborn. I'm really stubborn.
Right.
And I just had it in my head that I wanted to try to, pay it all back. And one of the debts was one debt in particular was kind of personal, and it was somebody that was trying to help me with payroll and stuff like that. And I really didn't want to default on that particularly.
Gotcha.
And I didn't, but it was hard.
Yeah.
So it was challenging. I learned so much about myself from going through that. And I learned so much and have become an advocate for small business because so many small business owners have financial challenges at one point or another. And it's really hard to build back from that. It's really hard. And it's really hard to access capital, even when you have decent credit as a small business owner. So there's just so many issues tied up with that. I learned a lot by doing things the wrong way. And now I enjoy helping people avoid some of those mistakes.
Well, that's, hey, nothing like saying you've done it. So
yeah, I sure have.
Tell them, say, hey, I'm offering you a scholarship, or you can pay tuition like I did. Believe me.
Right.
Scholarship is better.
I wouldn't really wish that on anybody. However, I am so grateful for every moment of it. Even the bad stuff.
Yeah.
As I know, I talked to other small business owners such as myself and Sherelle and just so many others. And when the opportunity, if you will, to file bankruptcy comes up, so many of us choose to go the route you did. And in large part because we realize these are other small businesses we're dealing with, or, you have personal relationships that are involved. And we also know that, we file bankruptcy, it could be killer to us being able to grow our businesses, the next time. Recognizing some people are able to still rebound for different for whatever reason, they're still able to get credit after they file bankruptcy, numerous times. But just so many of us, I think more so the relationships that we have and the people that we'd be filing bankruptcy against, that makes us just dig down and find the grit, if you will, to pay them off and to keep ourselves, where we need to be.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do and accomplish when you have to, and when there's something personal at stake. Because it's one thing to owe money to a big bank or credit card, and it is a very different thing to owe to a small business or a friend.
Right.
So yeah, it's not pleasant. I don't want to ever go there again, but I'm glad to have gone through it.
One of those lessons worth having, not worth repeating.
Right.
Yeah.
Worth hearing about and not experiencing. So.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Ellen, who would you say has contributed the most in terms of inspiration to you while you've been on your journey?
I mean, there's so many people, from the celebrities like Oprah or Brené Brown, or, those super women that just have so much knowledge and wisdom to share. But for me, I was thinking about this question and, going through my entire journey, there have been so many women, so many coaches and individuals that have stepped up, and some of them are still in my life, 10 years down the road. Some came and went, but so many showed up at the right time and shared, the right knowledge and secrets. And I've been doing something on social media where every week I'm honoring a woman that is really awesome and really amazing and has made an impact to me. And I do believe you might be coming up there, Sherelle, in the
Oh, well, thank you.
but there's so many people that you can just draw inspiration from, or motivation, or just respect for what they're doing, and there's just so much to learn. I love I love it. I love being an entrepreneur. I love life. I love learning. I love meeting people, and just valuing what everybody has to share. Yeah. So yes, thank you for being one of my super women.
Hey, she is.
Yeah. I've retired the cape.
The cape never gets retired.
Yes. So Lee, my really quick plug, my book that I have coming out is called The Weight of the Cape. And it's about really putting it down. So yes, there's the aspect of being super, but also human.
Oh yes.
So anyway, to be continued.
So important.
Ellen,
yeah.
Ellen, so one of the things when Sherelle and I first kind of jumped out and started doing this, hey Ebony, thanks for joining. Give you a shout out. One of the things that we were seeking to find was, when we look at whether you're corporate or you're self-employed or wherever you are in your career, we wonder what are some of the key principles or key things that that really help women. So we were looking at like a model to help women become successful like yourself. What are some of those key factors or key points that you feel that have to be present, and who provides those? So if it's someone corporate or you're self-employed, you're helping people now, but give us a few of those.
Wow. I think having the conversation is the first step, the awareness that there is issues in the corporate world and in the business world that women still have a ways to go before they achieve equality. I think the conversation is the first thing people need to have in order to begin to make some changes. This is what you're asking me, right?
Yes.
How we can help.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's awareness, first of all, that conversation. And then there has to be a willingness to embody this idea that it's not us versus them. It's not women coming to the table and we win and so men lose. That doesn't work. It's like we all have a voice, and collectively we are more creative. We're more able to come up with great solutions and great ideas and move things forward faster and more with innovation and energy, rather than fighting each other all the time.
Right.
I know that's idealistic. I know that it's not really like that in the real world just yet, but I love the idea of that. And I think striving towards that is really important. Being willing to listen and care what the answer is,
Right. Yeah, it's, and unfortunately, you're right. It's not like that in the world yet. There's this zero-sum game, kind of mentality, or if you win, I lose, versus if you win, I win also.
Yeah.
And of course, you deal with that from sexism, racism, a lot of these isms where you find people, are against something solely because they feel it's going to keep them back or keep them from getting, moving to the head of the class, when they feel like they already have the advantage. So why would I give up the advantage to help you out? Unfortunately, what we see a lot of people's mindset, when we all know that we're better together. As my pastor says, a mouthful of teeth looks a lot better than two teeth spread out.
That's a good one.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No,
So-
that's really true. So many people have the opposite view, you know, that that they've made it and they're good and they've got enough security and money and all of that, and they don't have to care about the other people, you know, like that's a problem for me. Like I feel like we have a responsibility to help and guide and mentor, and you know, it starts with recognizing that there is a problem, and that if you are on the top, you've probably had some advantages, and therefore you have the responsibility to help. So
yeah. And on that topic of mindset, when it came to you as it related to just exuding grit, did you ever experience any self-limiting beliefs? If so, how did you overcome them?
oh yeah, I did. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think we all do, right? Like that self-talk is the most damaging thing, and it is the killer of dreams. It's the thing that stops us from starting something that we might really want to do.
Yeah.
It's dangerous stuff, and we all have to deal with it. Again, it's the key to beating it is practice, recognizing it. So knowing the difference between a truth and your stories that you're telling yourself, those limiting belief stories. And sometimes when you hear those stories coming up in your mind, you can fight them. You can fight them by considering that maybe they're not telling the truth. And maybe there is an example. Everybody has examples in their life somewhere along the line when they were successful, they were abundant, they did have friends, they were loved, they were confident. You know, whatever your voice is telling you you're not, you have an example somewhere, if you really consider this, of some time when that wasn't true. And the more you can tap into that and get back to that feeling of that time when you were successful, loved, confident, you know, growing, succeeding, whatever, the quicker you can get back to that, the quicker you can like launch yourself out of that negative mindset. And the more you do it, the quicker you can just like flip it. So when you practice this and you recognize that that voice is starting again, you'll learn to flip it very quickly. It will still show up. I think it shows up for your whole life. But you need to say, like, you're not welcome here. You know, thank you for coming, but you need to go sit down.
That's right.
Yes.
That's great. Well, guess what? We're already halfway through.
Yeah.
All right.
It goes by so fast.
Yes.
So we're going to pull you back so we can thank our sponsors, give you an opportunity to grab a drink. We're going to announce again, for those of you who are just joining in, if you missed the giveaway of the first gift that went to Ebony, you still have an opportunity to get the second one. So we'll be right back with Ellen in just a minute.
Hey, yes. Hey, what's up, Jerry? Thanks for joining. Sharonda, good to see you. Great to see you as always. Looking forward to you all's great questions coming up. Ebony, we do see your question and it's up next. So thank you for that question.
That's right. So Lee, who do we have to thank for our sponsors this evening?
Hey, we're going to thank Mjc Insurance Group. Again, Mjc Insurance Group. If you need auto insurance, homeowners insurance, if you own rental property, if you need an umbrella policy, that's something you can talk to Mjc Insurance Group about and let them explain to you what an umbrella policy is. And it's something that many of us could use. Also, if you own a boat, if you have a business and you need workers' comp, feel free to give Brianna a shout. The best way to reach her is to just go through their website, mjcins.com, mjcins.com, and send a message, and they will get you a quote. and they will provide you with excellent service. The great thing about them is they're not limited to just one insurance company. They can get quotes from over 30 different companies and find the actual best fit for you. This is not a cookie cutter world, so they'll look for the best fit for you and your family. Also, Terrell Perry at Mollett Investment Services. Terrell, Terrell at MollettInvestmentServices.com. Give Terrell a call. Let him shop insurance for you, life insurance, whether it's a term policy or a permanent policy. Give him a shout and let him help you get that started. And then Sherelle Lands, Vision Strategy Management. Sherelle's just got so much going on. She's got a new book coming out. She's got some more training that she's going to be doing. Go to her website, visionstrategymanagement.com, and pick something that will help benefit you in your life personally and professionally. So Sherelle is there to help you execute. So if you don't really want to execute, stay away from her webpage.
Very true. Or don't tell me.
Or don't, there you go.
Don't tell me. One of the two. I mean, I know when to push and I know when to pull back, but anyway.
There you go. And also check out thetableaction.com, www.thetableaction.com. This community is phenomenal. It's really, its mission is to help people of color increase their level of prosperity. And we're doing it through various introductions and networking, helping people, build their businesses, their careers, mentoring, sponsoring, just a phenomenal organization. And we have some real talk. We have real talk about race, and it's a safe zone. So you get a chance to correct people or be corrected or, ask questions without wondering if you're going to get canceled the next day. So it's a great opportunity to really, really learn about other people and get to know people. I'm loving it as a co-founder, and I like to participate in the conversation. So it's really great. Hey, also check out Frank Stanton Developers. We have houses going up in Raintree Forest Reserve, and we got our permits for our project on Church Street. So we have 129 condominiums that we're going to be building there on Church Street. Shout at Shantae Pollard at Village Real Estate to get more information if you're interested in buying a condo on Church Street, Midtown, Nashville. These condos will also be eligible for short-term rental permits because of the way they're being deeded. So that's what we have. That's who's supporting us. And we thank you, Alexis, for jumping on and joining us. And let's get ready to go back. You have anything else before we go back?
I do. Two quick things, which is one, if you are just now tuning in and you missed the first opportunity to grab a prize, you are still able to get a second one. And if you are just tuning in, what we have asked our viewers to do is go ahead and share this show with as many people as you desire to do so, and have them just put your name in the chat function, because we are going to give away a gift to the guest who invites the most people to this specific show. So go ahead and do that while we still have time left. You got about 20 minutes to get as many people on this line right here so you can get a prize this evening from our guest, Miss Elin Barton. So we'll go ahead and bring her back up.
Yes, and get your questions ready for Elin.
That's right.
Questions ready.
Get your questions ready. And we did have one from Ebony already. So, hey, Elin.
Hey.
Ebony has a question for you. She said, with your love of learning, what's some of your current or favorite reading material?
Ooh, that is a great question. Well, I have to be honest. I love learning, and I also love fiction. So I'm one of those really annoying people that has like 2 or 3 books going at a time. And I know that that's annoying. So
it's okay.
Fiction wise, I just finished a book called The Vanishing Half. And if you guys have heard of that, it was Barack Obama named it as one of his favorite books, and it was excellent. It's very good.
Put that one on my.
So I invite you to put that right on your list.
Tell me it one more time, and I'll drop it here in the chat function as well for our guests.
Vanishing Half.
The Vanishing Half.
The Vanishing Half. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I am reading a book that I don't particularly like this book. Hang on.
But I love the fact that you're reading something that you don't particularly like. You know, it's all about expanding.
Yeah, this
your
book.
mind. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a. Okay.
Yeah. And it was gifted. It was given to me, and I'm trying. It was popular. You know, it was on the New York Times bestseller list and everything. Yeah. But I'm not going to recommend it. I don't like it.
Okay. All right.
So do the fiction one.
The Vanishing Half.
That was awesome.
Well, we definitely got you co-signing for The Vanishing Half and put aside the other one.
Yes.
But you know, like I love audiobooks too. And I love listening to like anything inspirational, sales. Jen Sincero is one of my favorite authors. Mm-hmm. You know, just anything that's gonna leave you feeling inspired and motivated to go out and kick some ass, you know, like do really cool stuff in the world.
Right.
So,
yes. That's always good. That's always. So Ellen, let's talk about your businesses. Sure. Tell us what you do. Tell us about your companies and you know, the things that, you know, who best to utilize you. Who's your key target audience?
Yeah, I'd love to. So I have two companies. My core and first business is called White Knight Productions, and it started out as a video production company. And you know, as I explained, we grew quickly. We had a lot of issues, and then we completely reconfigured our business model and figured out how to work with clients all over the country and how to do so very cost effectively and with a results driven mantra, and we're doing really well. We've you know, completely changed the way we do things, and I love that business because we're helping people tell stories and get their message out there in social media and websites. We're helping them with full marketing services these days. And it's fun. It's awesome. And we have wonderful clients who just brighten my day all the time. So that's very cool. And then I started another business. It's been 4 years that I've been running this other business, which is it's called, so I have an online community, much like the community you've co-founded, Lee, I guess. I haven't been to your community.
Okay.
But the one that I founded is called The Boardroom, and it's specifically for entrepreneurs. It's free to join. It's we can share the URL at some point. It's theboardroom.vip.
Okay.
And it's a supportive space. It's a space where you're not going to get spammed. You're not going to get ads. And it's a safe space for people to get support and ask questions.
Okay.
Within the boardroom, there are other levels that, you know, you can sign up for one-on-one coaching or mastermind groups or other things. But the core community is fantastic, and I love it, and it's my passion project.
Okay.
And so that, and I always think of the book on that side of my business.
Okay. Was it theboardroom.com or the board?
The boardroom.vip.
.vip. Okay.
So you need the word the boardroom.vip.
Okay.
Yeah. And we, that whole thing started out because I told you I went through all that hard stuff with my business, and I realized I didn't have the right people around me and the right community and the right support. So having gone through that, I wanted to create that for other people.
Okay.
I wanted to create resources and a place where people could, you know, come and go, I'm having imposter syndrome, or I'm having issues, or I don't know, you know, does anybody know a good HR person, you know, and or a good investment manager, or you know, any number of things.
Okay.
It's a fantastic community. So I invite any entrepreneurs out there to check us out. the boardroom.vip.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And all those are on social media as well, or?
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right,
Yep.
great.
Yep.
So check out Ellen
Thank
Barton and
you.
the boardroom.vip.
And White Knight, yeah. And White Knight, my video company is whiteknightpro.com.
Okay.
And yeah, I would love to have you check that out as well.
All right, awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Are you on mute, Sherelle?
How about now?
Yeah, there we go. You were having a great conversation, though.
I was. So amazing. I'll have to do it all over again. So I would say, Ellen, so I am so excited to hear about your book, Ready, Set, Grid. So can you tell us a little bit more about the book, maybe the synopsis of it, or anything that you could share with our guests?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I could show it to you. I have it here. So
cool.
it's
Okay.
my first book, and I'm very excited. Yeah, thank you. I've always wanted to write a book, and I never really knew what that book would be. But this book was one of those books that just had to be written. It kind of wrote itself in some ways. And it was a result of, like I said, all that stuff I went through and the systems that kind of came out of that and were put into place that helped me get out of all that debt and restructure everything. And now enjoy a life of much more prosperity and ease, which is what we all want, right?
Yeah.
So my book is divided into 3 sections, and they're called Ready, Set, and Grit.
Okay.
So the first section is all about mindset. It's about getting your mind right. Like you said, getting rid of those limiting beliefs and changing anything that isn't serving you, whether it's issues around money, because so many people have that, or even like your people in your world who might care about you very deeply and love you, and yet not be your best allies if you're trying to take a risk or start a business because they want to protect you. So it's like a lot of awareness around stuff like that.
Okay.
That's the first section.
Got it.
The middle section is called Set, and that is about creating a foundation for yourself. So whatever your dream is, whatever this thing is that you're building, whether it's a business or whether it's a career path that you don't quite know, you don't have to know all the steps of how you're going to get to whatever it is you desire. It may not even be either of those things. It may be, maybe you have a great desire to create a community center in your neighborhood or something, and you have no idea how you're going to make this happen. Whatever your great desire is, the book is designed so that it can help you turn it into a reality. Middle section is the foundation, the set. And then your favorite, I'm sure, is the third section, Grit. And that is about doing the work, getting into action, showing up, doing it again and again, even when you don't feel like it. And even when you don't know all the steps, you just need to know how to make little steps in the right direction. That's all you need to do.
Okay. Great. That sounds like a really, really good book for us all to read. And it's exciting.
Thank you.
So you had this desire to write a book. What were the steps? Now Sherelle's got like 50 books out, so
you should ask her. Like,
not quite 50, but she's got multiple books out. But what was your process? What was when you started attacking this project? Because it's not an easy task.
Yeah. Well, so, like my business, I just kind of did it and figured it out as I went. But my process was because I had developed this system, I wanted to find a way to articulate those steps and really drill down to what the essence of that system was, And then I wanted to convey it in a way that was easily digestible and actionable for people that, may want to make those changes, like I mentioned. And so my process was first to kind of visualize what the chapters were and to outline that. And then I had the structure. So that came that came really near the beginning. And in my quest to figure stuff out, I also I think when I started doing this, I didn't know I wanted to write a book, but I started just seeking knowledge. I started reading so much and asking people who had figured it out before me, I just asking them, I just wanted to know the trick. I wanted to know the key. I wanted to know the magic. Like, how did you make this happen?
Gotcha.
How did you get through that? And all those little nuggets, I just started collecting them.
Okay.
And putting them, so just, sticking them in the right chapters in notes, and eventually notes became sentences and sentences became paragraphs. But finally there was a book.
There you go.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. Is that like your process, Sherelle?
Not quite, but I think we all have and do things that work best for us in order to, kind of divulge it and get it down and things of that nature. I have an outline, and then I do research, but then also I have my main sections that I want to characterize as the book. And then the actual writing, so my very first book, I think I shared on our show, Lee, that I actually wrote the book on the road because I was just so busy and I was always driving. I like driving. Driving kind of is my peace, my space where I can think. And I took a tape recorder and started recording. And then when I got home, I set it down, did ease of access, hit play, and then it started to dictate back, did the editing, sent it to an editor to further review it. And before long, that book was born. Now, the process for the second, third, and fourth are a little bit different because the content is a little bit different and requires a little bit more. But yeah, I think we find the flow and what works for us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, family, anybody have any questions? If you do, feel free to drop them in, because you know what? We're almost out of time.
Out of time.
Wow, that went fast.
Yeah, and you can't ask questions on the replay. So the questions you ask are the questions that people that watch it on the replay get answers to.
That's right.
Feel free to go ahead and drop your questions in for Elin Barton.
Yes. Yeah. And Elin, while our guests are still kind of thinking through the questions that they have, are there any critical nuggets you would like to leave for our guests? How can they reach out to you, follow you, and connect with you?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, anyone who's interested in exploring ways we could work together, I can share a link to my scheduler. It's very easy. It's readysetgrit.coach.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah. And you can just, click right on there and grab a time on the calendar so we can talk one-on-one. And I am not someone who is salesy. It is just an exploratory call to see, whether there would be a way that we could work together that would be mutually beneficial and agreeable, to both of us.
Okay.
I'm not really interested in pursuing that if it's not a good fit, but if it is a good fit, I love helping people grow their businesses and really pursue their dreams. That's very important to me. And then I have a website. It's elinbarton.com. And I mentioned before the White Knight website, if you're interested in the video or marketing work, is whiteknightpro.com. Knight with a K.
Yeah, very important to bring up.
It's very different if it doesn't have a K. I don't even know what that is.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't know. It might be something weird. I don't know. Yeah.
White Knight Pro.
whiteknightpro.com. Yes.
And any tidbits or nuggets you'd like to leave specifically with the guests before I kind of run through your recount?
I mean, I would like them to take away the idea that anything you can imagine, you can be, have, do anything. Anything that you imagine in your mind is possible for you. And life is short. There is no time like the present to start. You don't need to know the steps. You don't need to know even exactly where you're going. You just need to have a desire and start moving toward the desire. And anyone can do this, no matter where you're coming from, no matter what challenges you're facing. Anyone can do this. So that is what I would like them to take away and remember and hopefully act upon moving forward. I can't wait to see what you guys can create.
Love that. Yes. And that they can definitely get in touch with you, connect with you, and engage with your community. Ebony said, "You said a word." So that was that was definitely great. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Sharonda says that she loves nuggets, and she says, "Good job, Ellen. You rock." So you've got a lot of love here in the chat function as well. Jerry, thanks for joining. Sharonda, thanks for joining. Ebony, thanks for joining. Alexis, thanks for joining. And for those of you who are in other parts of the world, thank you for joining in. So I want to give a quick recap of Ellen, who is before us, and thank you for the phenomenal session that you have provided. Ready, Set, Grit, the author of Ready, Set, Grit, and the award-winning founder of White Knight Pro. So Ellen said, when it comes to entrepreneurs, sometimes you have to find your footing while you're on the way and continue to, and she gave the illustration of her initial journey, which was when she was walking through entrepreneurship and kind of figured it out along the way, and then created an organization that helps to fuel other entrepreneurs. Marry your passion with something that is also needed. So make sure that you are passionate about what you decide to go into, and that it is something that can provide value to the community or the world that we're in. Sometimes recognize that baby steps are all that you need. Know your goals and have an idea of where you want to go and see yourself, but also be willing to find your peace in the places of wherever you are. So that's another one that would definitely, that you want to take on. Be able to, when it comes to helping women in the workplace, awareness is key, embodying the idea that there is no us versus them. It's just we, right? And how do we find a way to speak more on the level of we, and not taking from one or stripping from one to provide to the other, but there is an abundance of wealth, and that there is an abundance wherever we are. Overcome self-limiting beliefs by practicing the art of being positive, kind to yourself. Look for examples where you've been successful in the past, where you've been loved, where you've been growing and succeeding, and replicate those. Remind yourself of those, and allow that to bring you back quickly to that place. And when it came to her book, Ready, Set, Grit, Ready is all about getting your mindset right, because you can't move if you don't have the mind to do so. And then Set, creating a foundation for yourself. And then Grit, which is all about digging in and doing the work. Sometimes you have to build the plane even while you're on the fly. Allow your pain to be your propeller into your purpose. That's when you talked about that, Ellen, that's what came to mind, which was allow that pain to be the propeller that spins and takes you forward into your purpose. And remember, anything you can imagine is possible for you. Ellen also said, there is no time like the present. So get started. There's nothing in your way. Just take one step, put it in front of the other, and do it over and over again. Ellen, this has been a phenomenal time. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Women with Grit.
Yes,
Lee,
thank you. Thank you very much. It's great meeting you and great getting to know about you and your businesses, but even more so, your philosophy on life and business. I think is very beneficial to all of our listeners and all those that will listen over the next few days and weeks. Ebony said that she liked when you said, be like water.
Be like water.
Be like
Love that.
water.
Love it. Yeah.
So we know our guest, our audience has picked up some nuggets. So if your goal every day is to help somebody, you have helped some bodies.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. This was great.
Awesome. Thank
A lot of
you.
fun.
And look to hear from you soon. And let us know when you drop your next book.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you to all our listeners. We look forward to seeing you again next week, next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time on Women with Grit, when we'll have another exceptional woman with grit to introduce to you and to learn from. And who is that exceptional woman that we have next week, Sherelle?
So we have Delisa Greer.
Oh, Guerrier.
Guerrier, thank you.
Yes.
Is also next week on.
All right. We will see you then. Everyone have a great one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.